Problem 16. The set of all real numbers x for which the following expression is defined is given by x is larger than c. What is the value of c? So first of all, let's first try to understand what to do with this question, because we know that we're trying to find the definition of a defined function. And all the functions given are logs. So obviously we need to understand when logs are defined in order to solve this question. And looking at this right off the bat, you don't get much. So let's try to break it down into a simpler example. That's what you should always do if you do not know how to approach a question. Let's say log base 2 of x to be our example, where we want to consider values of x that are defined, because after all, that is what we were trying to solve for in the first place. So let's try x is greater than 0. If this were the case, let's give ourselves a simple example of log base 2 of 2. This is equal to 1. 1 is obviously defined, and we can intuitively understand that any number larger than 2 would also be defined. So that means x is larger than 0 would be defined. But what about quantities that are less than 0, right? That should naturally be your second intuition. Well, let's give a simple example of log base 2 of negative 1. And by definition, if I set this to be equal to a, 2 to the a must equal negative 1. And can you think of a number of a such that this is defined? The answer is no, because even if a were to be negative, such as negative 2, then 2 to the negative 2 would still give 1 over 2 squared, which is 0.25. So 0.25 is still a positive number, and it can never go negative. So that means this option is eliminated, which means that when x is greater than 0, this function is defined. Similarly, we can argue that log base 2004 is the outer function. This entire quantity is the inner function that is representative of x. So that means the inner quantity of log base 2003, of log base 2002, of log base 2001, of x must be greater than 0, because we derived it from a simple example. And a simple example must hold even for a large example. So now we want to evaluate from the inside in, or outside in, because we're trying to find the range of x, and this doesn't give us anything about the range of x. So let's continue by destroying, or eliminating, not destroying, eliminating the outer logs to get to the inner x. To do that, let's utilize the algebraic function or property that says a to the log ab gives b. So that means if we were to apply it and raise everything to the 2003rd power, this would give log base 2002 of log base 2001 of x is equal to 2003 to the 0 power, which is just 1 by definition. So if we continue, what is 2002 raised on both powers? Well, that's just log base 2001 of x is equal to 2000, or 2002, because anything to the first power is just itself. So that means, by definition, or that should be larger than, so larger than 2002. That means if we raise everything to 2001st power, then x must be greater than 2001 raised to 2002. So there should be an answer like this, and if we scroll up, oops, sorry, my board is acting a little strange today, but anyway, answer choice B would satisfy. And it's not A, because remember, you have to evaluate outside in. Do not fall for the trap answer where you have this greater than 0, but on the left side, it's not x. It's a log function. So anyway, the answer choice is B, and we are done.